I hope the president can see this, because this is inhumane.
This is a dire situation.
Que nos permita por lo menos exponer nuestros casos.
The confusion, the exhaustion, it's all mounting here just south of the border. We are live in San Ysidro all morning.
We are making it very clear that our border is not open.
The Biden administration's new rules for asylum.
And expect border wait times to be higher than normal. We're tracking that for you this morning.
And fewer clouds on hand today as temperatures are on a warming trend through Mother's Day weekend. It is 6 a.m. on Thursday, May 11th. You're up with CBS 8.
We begin with the border crisis. Title 42 ending in just a few hours. Now, that's the policy that allowed the federal government to reject asylum seekers over COVID concerns. Well, now the White House is rolling out new rules. You see, 14 hours left there. So glad you're with us. So much to get to. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Evan Irani. We do appreciate you joining us in the 6 a.m. hour here. Right now, migrants are lining up along the U.S.-Mexico border. You're taking a look at videos from here in San Ysidro to Yuma, Arizona, and El Paso, Texas. But as people hope to enter the U.S., the Biden administration has put in place new rules aimed at curbing those numbers. So if migrants pass through another country on their way here, they have to prove that they tried to apply for asylum in that other country first. That essentially applies to all non-Mexican migrants. Violators could face a 5-year ban from the U.S. and a felony charge.
This morning, the American Civil Liberties Union is threatening to challenge these new rules in court. The ACLU of San Diego says many of the countries that migrants pass through don't have working asylum systems. They say in a statement, quote, like Title 42, this new asylum ban will expose vulnerable people to unspeakable dangers. The Biden administration must reverse course. And we have team coverage for you. Dana Marie McNichol is live at PedWest with how the changes at the border could impact you.
But we begin with Netta Rampur. She is live along the border fence in San Ysidro with a closer look. Netta, we are just hours away from the expiration of Title 42. Tell us how things are looking out there.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We are here now just north of the fence line. Of course, this right here is Mexico. A lot of people have been gathering here. They were trying to sleep through the night. We're seeing some people starting to wake up, line up at the fence. And I've been talking to many of them. A lot of these families are here with young children. We've seen babies, we've seen toddlers. We've spoken to many people who say they're young kids, ages 2 to 9 years old. They're not doing great. There was one woman who was crying. She has a 9-month-old who is sick. And there's been a lot of humanitarian aid here at the border, people trying to help out, trying to provide food, water, whatever they can. Many people lined up right here are asking actually to have their phones charged. They're desperate for that, to get some sort of communication, some sort of answers on what will happen next. As you mentioned, Title 42 set to expire 9 o'clock tonight. So there's a lot of confusion on what that means. Many people are waiting to hear from any type of officials on what their plan is. I do want to bring in Lillian. She's joining us here this morning. Lillian, you're with the Southern Border Communities Coalition. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I know members of your group have been here daily trying to help out a lot of these people. Tell us what you've seen, what they've seen, what they're doing to try to help.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of groups and just volunteers, community members that have seen what's going on the news or other venues and care. So we're showing up to try to provide some sort of comfort and some sort of hope to let folks know that there's some of us here in this country that do care, that will not leave them alone, and that will continue to advocate for their human rights to be protected. What we have seen is a series of human rights violations, a series of policy violations. Folks are here trapped in between two walls that are now serving as an outdoor detention facility for asylum seekers. We know that there's been times where Border Patrol themselves transport people to this area. There's been times where they take people's property, and including shoelaces from their shoelaces. There has been instance in which the gates have open and Border Patrol push people back into the area. So once again, all of these are indicators that folks are in custody. Folks share with us that when they had asked Border Patrol about their ability to leave, they're not able to leave. So once again, right. If folks are in custody, there are regulations, policies that Border Patrol needs to follow to make sure that people's human rights and dignity is being protected, and that's not what we're seeing right now.
And from your perspective, they're basically in custody here in between these two fences that we're seeing.
Yes, that's exactly what we're seeing. If folks are not able to leave and folks are interacting and being counted on a daily basis with Border Patrol, these folks should be under Border Patrol's care. Not what we're seeing, obviously being outdoors, not having access to food, not having access to a real restroom that is actually maintained, because this has been here and it's not
one porta potty for all these people. This has been a growing group. We know we've had crews out here day in, day out seeing this happen. A lot of people from all over the world traveling here. Lillian, their main hope is what? What do you think? What are you hearing from them? What do they want to see happen?
Yeah, most of them are here seeking asylum. Most of them want the opportunity to present their case. Some of them are bringing evidence or stories that they think will allow them to tap into that relief of access to being in the United States legally. But we know that according to our domestic and international treaties that the United States has signed, every person that arrives to U.S. soil seeking asylum should have the opportunity to present their evidence, their cases, in front of a judge who will make an ultimate decision.
Lillian, thank you for your perspective. Of course, you see all these people here on the other side of the fence in pretty desperate, dire conditions, and obviously exhausted, confused as well. That's a big problem that we're hearing. Many don't know what's next for them. Of course, we're going to stay out here throughout the morning. We will be along the border speaking with many of these people. For now, we want to send it over to Dana Marie McNichol, who's joining us live from Ped West, to talk about the impacts there. What are you seeing, Dana Marie?
Well, we know that border crossing times are going to be high today. We know that yesterday the times were higher than normal. So at the San Ysidro port of entry for passenger vehicles, it's about an hour and 40 minutes. And if you're passing by just by pedestrian, it's about an hour. Also, if you're at the Otay Mesa border crossing right now, those average wait times are around 80 minutes. Now, I would like to say that those times are not above average than normal. But again, the Tijuana consulate did say that anything could happen today and you must prepare for even closures. They say that you need to make sure your car is in good condition and you have enough gas for long traffic delays. Also bring water, snacks, and essential medication with you. Another thing that happened last night that impacted wait times was an readiness exercise done by the San Ysidro port of entry and the Border Customs Patrol there. They interrupted processing and crossing. It happened last night around 9 p.m., which is the same time Title 42 expires tonight. At that time, at 9 p.m., the border crossing wait times are at the lowest at only 23 minutes. But again, people saw above average wait times all day yesterday. Right now, they are looking about average. Again, San Ysidro port of entry, an hour and 40 minutes if you're trying to come by car. Now, I'm standing in front of the Ped West port of entry, and we're starting to see just a small amount of people come through this port of entry. We're going to try and talk to them to see what it's like on the other side of the border. But again, keeping track. We'll send it back to you, Netta.
All right, Dana Marie, thank you for that. And I just want to share some of the stories that I've heard even just this morning. Now that we're getting daylight, more people are waking up, as you see. And really, they've had these terrible conditions that they've been sleeping in, on the dirt, trash bags, the foil kind of wrappings that they've had to try to just get a little bit of warmth. Lillian mentioned earlier, one porta potty for these many, many dozens of people who are here. And we're getting wafts of that here and there. And obviously, that's not the safest place for people to go to the restroom. We've heard stories from people here from Colombia, for example, who have young children. They were able to fly from Colombia to Tijuana. There was a gentleman I spoke with earlier from Istanbul, Turkey, and he made it all the way by airplane to Cancun, then made it to Tijuana. So various ways that people have saved up their money to try to get here. And a lot of them were told that they could cross into the U.S. to get that asylum asylum status, to seek that asylum. And many of them have stories of, dangerous conditions in these countries they were in. We've seen people from Congo, from Venezuela, from Jamaica. A woman I spoke with spoke Farsi, so I was able to speak with her. She came from Moscow, from Russia, and she has a 9-month-old child. She was in tears because her little one is sick. She's not sure what's wrong with her, but she was crying all night, so she was trying to comfort her. So very heartbreaking stories that we're hearing from people who really at this point are exhausted, and they just want answers on what's next. Why are they stuck here, and what will happen to them?